So today, I wanted to make a piece of content that I thought would be good for me and good for the listeners. Today, I wanted to talk about how to make content simple by making content that's true to you. What I mean by that is a lot of times people overcomplicate making content. They think, how's it going to look? How's it going to sound? What am I going to do? And honestly, if you keep it to something that you're passionate about and something that gives somebody else value in the form of education or entertainment or both, you will make good content. The part of that I will say was the hardest for me was making content that was true to me. If the content is, logically speaking, good marketable content, businesses, this can apply a little bit different, but even if it is for the business, because you want to stay true to your brand. But I digress. The point that I'm making is that content creation is simple when it's true to you. And I struggle with this too. I used to make content for other pages, aside from this podcast, where I was staying really true to the algorithm. Like, I'm telling you, if it wasn't a trick, tip, or strategy out there, if it was one, I was using it because I was trying to get as many followers, as many views, as much engagement as possible. And I became a slave to the algorithm because I was constantly trying to figure out what worked for the audience, what would get me likes, what would get me views, and that content wasn't true to me, which made me overcomplicate the creation of the content. I would go, how do I look? I don't look right. I'll wait till tomorrow. Or how do I sound? I'm not going to record that because I sound weird and it doesn't sound like it's going to get a lot of likes. It doesn't look like it's going to get a lot of views. And what I'm talking about doesn't seem like it's going to get that great of engagement from my target audience. Where I slipped up, and where a lot of people slip up, and I think that, at least from my experience, this may help you out a bit, is that when I was being true to myself and really started making content that I was completely and utterly comfortable with, like this form, it made me move faster and it made my content simple. Here's what I mean. If you aren't worried about the other factors, the likes, the engagement, the views, the followers, you'll make content quicker because you aren't worried about that. I used to take all day to do what I do today. It used to take me weeks to put out a podcast. It used to take me days to put out one post because I was over critiquing it and over complicating it. People don't understand that something as simple as a tweet is content. When you tweet something and you're tweeting about something that you truly believe in, whatever it is, if you are offering entertainment, value in the form of entertainment or education or both, then it's a win. If only two people see it, that's two devoted people who really liked what you was talking about and they liked the version of you that was real. A lot of times it sounds super romantic, like I'm trying to preach or I'm trying to put out this really wise thought process. But if you're not 100% yourself, it's gonna end up catching up with you in the end. Because for me, where I got caught up at was that I was hindering myself from making content as quickly as I could. And also, when I did start making content that was true to myself, I started losing followers that I was bending over backwards to try to please. And that doesn't mean don't try to give your audience value. It means that don't try to give them value at the expense of being natural because they'll be able to weed through it and they'll be able to call you out. It's why I don't focus on the numbers, why I don't focus on the retweets, why I don't, because when I get here, I'll get exposed. I'm not the best content creator out there. I'm by no means a guru. I don't know everything when it comes to social media. But what I talk about is my experiences as a content creator because I started out 3 years ago making a page that was dedicated to anime content. And I stayed at about 500 followers for about 6 months until I started making content that was true to myself. And it took me a minute to actually really starting to tweak things that sounded like how I talk in real life, to make memes that, and if no one knows, that page is Trap Dragons, and you can go check it out. It started off a meme page and actually just developed into me doing a podcast and really making content that was original content from myself that I put on the page. But I digress. I do that a lot. If you watch any of my other content or listen to my other content, I do that. And honestly, it's because I'm trying to have a clear conversation with you because I do want to help. And this is something that I really do want to do, being able to help people make content, to help people get awareness to something they're passionate about, to be able to stop that mundane day in, day out grind of just doing something that you don't love. And I didn't want to try to get that deep, but that really is where I was coming from. I was at a point where I was working a job that I didn't like, that I hated. You know, every guru story start off like that. I was working a 9 to 5. Yeah, that was me. And I quit my job, got a job as a security guard where I could use my phone and start making content in the car. That was the part where I knew I was passionate about this. The second part came when I started really making content that was true to me. And once I started making that content that was true to myself, making that content came quicker because I didn't care how I looked on the camera. I didn't care how I sounded on the audio, and therefore I could make more content quicker than most people. And the followers that actually did like that content, I didn't have to worry about them leaving because I was true to myself and they liked that, which means I can make quick content that was valuable to others that did well. And you can do this in the form of tweets. You can do this in the form of pictures. You can do this in the form of video. You can do this in the form of audio. I personally like podcasts because you don't have to dress up, you don't have to look any part. So long as you're spitting facts and people can really resonate with what you're saying and you giving them value or you entertaining them, talking about something that they like, then you're gonna go far. That's not to say that audio is the best way to do it. It's just the best way that I thrive because I like talking. But I do pretty well on video too, if I don't say so myself. But um, you need to make content. You need to simplify the way that you create content. And the way that you do that is by making content that's true to you on written form, video form, or audio form. And that's straight from Gary. And if you listening to social media podcasts or content on how to grow, I know you've come across Gary Vee. That was what I did in that car when I was a security guard. I was listening to Crushing It, and I decided that today I was gonna make my path to being who I want to be in this atmosphere very crystal clear. Because I had a comment today that made me look at what I do. Somebody called me a guru because I only had 100 followers. And shout out to you. Shout out to you. Because I don't dislike you for that comment. It made me react and try to prove myself when I realized you are doing the very thing that you tell your followers not to do. So today, I wanted to kind of spit that. Hopefully, it helps somebody out, but make content simple by making it true to you in audio, written, or visual form. Let me know in the comments which one you're going to do and what are you passionate about and how are you going to do that.